Yo. What's up, Detroit? It's definitely in the building via your headphone stereo on speakers. Happy New Year, everybody. First show of the year, episode 277. Yes, sir. That was the bell for good reasons, not because anybody said anything outrageous yet.
The night is young.
I was going to say, give us time.
It's going to happen.
Well, no, Happy New Year to everybody. There's a lot I want to discuss. Obviously, a lot of things have happened since the last show. Master P wants to buy Reebok. Jerry Lorenzo left Nike and joined Jason Maiden to go to Adidas. Yeah, we working together. I'm telling you, we putting something together. Me, him, Baron Davis. It's going to go down.
As long as those Reeboks ain't as ugly as a Master P sneaker.
We're gonna talk about that because I feel like there is a lot of layers involved that people aren't thinking about. I think too many times us in the sneaker community think of it exclusively through that lens, and sometimes expectations are different when you're talking about when these types of deals are done. People involved expect different things than we expect. So we're going to get into that later. One, how's everybody doing?
Good, man. Just blessed to be here. Blessed to see another year. Just been working, staying out the way.
Everybody?
I just know everyone missed hearing from me, so I'm back for all the fans.
Oh, no, I guess I should just everybody. Okay, of course, that was Guru and Dunks, the North and South star of our show. And
the
then,
reseller Gino.
Yeah,
Pre-show, we were talking about it a little bit. So
yes.
Now the bell is being rung.
Resale
for,
Kingpin, Gino.
Speaking of resell, can we just go right into Ben Kicks? Because I used to work for his resell group.
Well, you know what? Before we get into that, because that's another thing. I mean, we tried to tell y'all he was a rebel. He spells kicks with a Z, but the thing I want to jump into, and sometimes things happen that transcend sneakers. And what happened, by the time you guys hear this, will be last week. What happened in Washington last week was absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Terrorism.
That's exactly what it was. And honestly, I have zero patience. You know, usually this is okay. First of all, I usually try to have associates. You can say friends, associates, whatever you want to call them, from different angles, because I feel like too often we group ourselves with people that are like-minded, and so therefore our beliefs aren't challenged. And I think we need to do a better job of challenging our own beliefs, because it's too easy to become entrenched in our own biases because we put ourselves in echo chambers. Having said that, while I do respect different points of views, there are some points of views that are obviously fucking stupid, and I think we need to establish that baseline again. Common sense used to be common. Now it just seems that everybody thinks because you have an opinion that they're all on par. Some opinions are based on fact and reason. Other opinions are just out of your ass. They are not equal. And what happened in Washington was a group of people whose opinions were based on bullshit that was given to them by a person who just couldn't accept an L.
Well, Twitter also suspended his account for, I think, 12 hours.
Let that sink in. That Twitter had to put the president in
Facebook and
timeout.
Instagram have banned him at least until the end of his presidency.
Yeah. Think about that. They had to put this motherfucker in timeout. This motherfucker can't even go on Twitter, but he has access to the nuclear codes. That should scare you by itself.
I'm pretty sure they've given him.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I'm sure they never gave him the real ones.
I would love to think that. I would hope so. But, you know, I see people, oh, well, Black Lives Matter burn up stuff. Okay, first off, no one is condoning looting or rioting. However, there is an inherent difference between historically disenfranchised group of people still fighting for equality and feeling unheard and feel like they got to go that route in order to get your attention because, you know, God forbid somebody kneels during a football game, right? Versus a group of people who have absolutely no reason or rationale or logic behind them acting out because they are unhappy with the results of an election. That's entirely different. I was talking to my sister, she's a therapist, and she was telling me, like, there's a difference between a kid who acts out because they're a brat, and there's a difference between a kid who acts out because they're abused. They're both acting out, but they're acting out for different reasons, and you treat them differently. And so to sit there and act like Black Lives Matter is equal to or akin to taking over the Capitol, that is fucking stupid. Like, I can't even imagine how you even put those two things on par or, you know, on equal footing. I just don't.
I will say it's fucked up when you can't even tell if the actual images are photoshopped or if that's what you're really seeing.
I mean, I would like to think you know what a Photoshop looks like, but but there are some
Well, I
good
can't tell when
Photoshops.
you do it for the Instagram page.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
There was a guy in a buffalo skin
come on, bro.
behind the podium of the Senate. How in the hell is that not a Photoshop?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Like-
just saying.
like, I'm sitting
Like
there-
about Davy Crockett on acid. Yeah, that shit was stupid. Look, I just know is this like
Someone
I'm,
got shot.
Somebody got shot.
You know what I'm
and
gonna
killed.
say? You know what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
she
show
died.
it? Kanye shrug because y'all ain't say shit when my man's got choked out and killed for selling cigarettes. It was letter of the law then. Follow the law, no matter how trite and trivial and how dumb that was to see a man die over selling cigarettes. That was y'all response. Letter of the law, blah, blah, blah. A man got shot and killed in front of his girlfriend and his daughter. He told you he had a gun, was reaching for his license. Y'all ain't say shit then. A kid was walking in his own neighborhood and had a bag of Skittles and iced tea and got killed by a person who was trying to be RoboCop. So I don't want to look. It's
And-
unfortunate.
and
hold
they
on,
auctioned that gun.
hold on. I'm gonna get these hot takes off. It's unfortunate somebody died. Nobody wants people to die. However, I'm not about to sit up here and shed not a tear right now. I'm not. I'm all out of tears. I'm done. I have zero tolerance for stupidity. I have zero tolerance for your bigotry. I have zero tolerance for your discrimination. I am done. I do not care. I don't. Simple as that. What we saw happen needs to be there has to be consequences, and people need to be held accountable. Otherwise, what's to stop that from happening again? Let this sink in. The Confederate flag, even during the Civil War, was not waved around the White House until 2021. 100 and some years after we've won the war and moved on, some idiots thought, you know what, the best way to show my anger is to take a flag of the group of people that tried to succeed from this country in 1863? 61, okay. And wave that around, along with Trump's son. Bruh. I just, you're not patriots. You're cosplaying, you're Civil War actors, and you're on the wrong side of history. So, with that being said, I don't know if anybody's got anything to say. I'm just saying I'm tired of the bullshit.
No, I mean, here's the thing that came up real quick today as they were talking about the lady who died. The first two paragraphs of every news story covering her was about how she was an Air Force vet, how she was a businesswoman.
Oh, they didn't dig up dirt on her?
How she was this, how she was that, how she was this. Whereas anybody else, all of those cases, all of those stories you just mentioned, it's a drug bust from 4 years ago. It's from whatever. The split is ridiculous. Not to mention, go back and look at photos of when the Black Lives Matter protests were going on or were just being scheduled to go on in D.C. and see the cops in full riot gear, body armor, assault weaponry, standing on the steps of the Capitol before anybody even set foot on that block. Mm-hmm. And then you've got videos of cops opening doors for people to get into the Capitol yesterday. And so, honestly,
But I'm supposed to feel comfortable with these police policing me, though, right?
So what I'm waiting to see is, and we actually talked about, there was a very landmark case that happened in Wisconsin where it was the first time they got a geofencing warrant for data from Google Maps. And that's how they solved a kidnapping and rape case where the lady who was kidnapped remembered where she got abducted, a store that they drove by the airport at such and such a time, and where they dropped her off. And using that, the cops reached out. They got a judge. They got a geofencing warrant. There was only one phone that matched all four of those data points, and that's how they nabbed them. DCPD and the FBI have said, we're doing the exact same thing. If your phone was located inside the Capitol building, expect federal trespassing and sedition charges.
I was going to say, everybody better catch a case. I mean, as many cameras as in D.C. I don't know if y'all been to D.C. before.
I mean, it should be
There's
more
cameras everywhere.
It should be more than that, because I would figure that every single camera inside of a federal building in Washington, D.C. should automatically be able to zoom in and identify.
Dog,
everything should be connected.
I got a ticket 2 weeks after I left D.C., I was actually leaving D.C., literally driving out of D.C. I was doing 45 in the 40, and they gave me multiple glamour shots from multiple angles of me in my car.
Did you pose?
I didn't even know I was on camera.
Oh, you should have just.
It was
posed
a
the
Mitchell and
pose.
Ness commercial.
And I'm like, so I know they got these people. And it's funny to me because now they're like, oh, it's Antifa, it's Black Lives Matter in disguise. Y'all went on y'all public profiles talking about y'all was going to go to D.C., bragging about it, and then when shit goes down, all of a sudden y'all wasn't there? It was somebody else?
I seen a video where they weren't even denying it. Like, one dude went back to his hotel room and was like, yeah, we went through here, we tore up the Capitol. Like,
Bruh.
just like, and the caption was, prosecutor says Exhibit A. Like, it was just, to me, it was ridiculous. One, to let them go up there that far. Then two, the lady that got shot, they Instagram and Twitter, they dug up her profile. She was calling the Kamala Harris all types of B's, talking about we won't wear masks, we're coming for you. The picture when she was on the plane flying there, you know what I'm saying? So it was just things. And then the young lady who got smaced in the face and then said, this is not right. And they actually put her in the Animaniacs meme, which I had posted on
Oh my
Instagram.
God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I
That's
posted on my Instagram story.
hilarious.
So it's just like, the one dude got a cut on his hand, was like, this is not right. This could have been one of your kids.
My kids
And it's
wouldn't be there
like,
breaking
I'm
into the
looking
Capitol,
like,
dumbass.
this is, I'm sitting up here looking like, that is nuts. Like, that is like, this is crazy. Look at them over there. It's
Based on the president, though. Like, dog, like this dude has continually lied and gotten away with it. Like, let's remind people that this is the same person that tried to convince meteorologists who were tracking a hurricane a few years ago to change their trajectory of the hurricane because it didn't suit his needs. He tried to politicize a hurricane. Like that's the.
Well, you just hit the nail right on the head. He keeps getting away with it. And that's the thing. Nobody has pumped the brake. Dude, how many I'm sorry, it took you until 13 days until the end of his reign to suddenly decide you wanted to leave your job. That you now you can't support this shit.
Yeah.
Man, he about to be out there. One, and then two, my issue with all of this is like, okay, you complain about the election being stole when the country you colluded with admitted that they helped you steal the last election. Like, that's what behooves me. Then did a cybersecurity breach on you 3 weeks ago.
Well,
like,
but the election was only stolen at the presidential level. Because even the states where they're protesting and contesting the election results, or they weren't contesting where their senators won.
Races, right.
They weren't contesting where their other people won. Only the presidential race. So the ballots, only that part of the ballot was messed up.
So,
only that part of the software was messed up.
Do you know the logical hurdles you have to jump over, right?
They're not logical. That's the problem.
No. But the logical hurdles that you got to jump over to think that Trump is the only person telling you the truth, that everybody from judges to the Supreme Court to both Republicans and Democrats in all the states, right? Because the election process, both parties participate in that. They oversee it. It isn't just one party conducting the whole thing. The Department of Justice, the FBI, to think that scientists, to think that everybody's lying to you, but this motherfucker.
60 judges, most of whom you appointed.
You appointed.
Yes. And they all keep saying, oh, well, they got thrown out because of procedure. Part of that procedure is evidence, motherfucker. And
see, and that's the part that people don't understand. When you claim fraud is a different case than almost any other kind of court case in the world. Like, you can file just about any kind of case you want and then prove it in court.
Yeah.
If you claim if you're filing a fraud case because of the damage that can do to somebody's reputation, you have to have beyond a reasonable doubt in your briefing, in your filing.
Not hearsay from a bunch of people that didn't participate.
And that's why, nope.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what that one-page shutdown from the Supreme Court that came out was possibly the greatest thing I've ever read. Like, because it basically boiled down to...
Repeat that, though. Read, because I guarantee you most Trump supporters don't read. They
it was
Trump's words from his lips. And
it was I think it was the appeal the appeal from Pennsylvania that the Pennsylvania federal court shot down. They appealed to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court basically said, this is so ridiculous at face value and without merit that it's not even worth our time to reply more than
no. A lot
no.
of Supreme Court judges don't want to be involved in swinging an election when there was clearly a landslide. So even them like, I'm not really going to be bothered with this because it's not like you really lost. Like, it's no real case.
Your own people say,
but I mean, but the other part about
the
that
acting
too
attorney general said,
but
I didn't find anything that was.
But the other part about that too is it's almost like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like with anything that got to do with us. how is he going to look out for them in their political careers when he's not even in office?
Oh,
so why would they even want? Why would
because
you?
people wanted to ride that wave. They were looking to take.
They rode Trump hype until it got out of control, and now they hopping off. Mitch McConnell, everybody else.
No. Now that I agree with. I'm talking
about the people that still.
No, I'm talking about the people like everybody that's finding fault with what he's saying with the election.
Yeah.
What good is it going to do to ride that wave?
Because there is a group of idiots out there. Because remember, he still got 70 million people to vote for him.
Understood.
They think. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to take up his mantle. So while he might not be in office, we'll still be in office. We could be de facto leaders of this mob or this group. That's what they're looking at. They're looking to take advantage of that core group of people. And that's what it is. They're taking advantage of you because they know you're idiots. They know they ain't got to prove shit. They can just tell you what you want to hear, and you're going to fucking run with that shit. And they're going to give you some half-truths and a bunch of, like, the Constitution. Like, well, we can do this because the Constitution don't say shit. You don't have power as Congress or the Vice President.
That was my favorite part of yesterday. Do you realize, because of the way the Constitution is written around the Electoral College and the certification of votes and all that kind of stuff, damn sure they didn't know. Do you know who would have taken over as president had they delayed? Had
Nancy
they actually
Pelosi.
Had they actually managed to delay?
Shit would have been hilarious. And honestly, I was kind of hoping for that. Part of me, because I'm like, y'all dumb. Like, y'all don't think, like, but because they know that you're not going to think, you're not going to do any research, and you're not going to hold them accountable, they can get away with murder. And that's what he's essentially been doing for the last 4 years, to the point where it's culminated with what happened in Washington.
Doug haven't met with, he hasn't been to a COVID briefing in over a month.
Why would he?
A month and a half.
Fake news. See, this is what happens when he did a brilliant job of conditioning his listening base or his supporters to just dismiss anything factual that contradicted what he said as fake news.
He could sell sneakers.
And this
he could be. He'd be like Benjamin Kicks, but like 60.
Exactly. It all ties back to Benjamin Kicks.
It does. He is
no different.
He's an older version of Benjamin Kicks. But no,
why are you so like want to mention? Are you praying on his? Not praying on his.
So are we transitioning to sneakers now? Everybody got this off their chest.
I was asking because he brought Benjamin Kicks.
I could.
I know you could.
I could rant for 5 more hours about that shit.
I could, because it's like, no, like at some point we gotta say, okay, this is bullshit. You know, let's not sit up here and try to act like these people are patriots and they're just upset. And we want transparency. Motherfucker, you didn't have how many recounts and all.
Oh no, and that was so then the call with Georgia.
Last
week,
what, 3 or 4 times?
That was the best part. He's like, oh well, but the Dominion voting machines. What about them? Well, they replaced the inner workings. Sir, no, they didn't. We have the maintenance records. We have.
How do you disprove
they've been lied down. And that's the thing. You can't prove a negative.
Right.
And so like you can't. So just being.
Like, I saw unicorns. No, you didn't. Well, prove it.
Mushrooms.
How do I disprove unicorns?
Well, so and we have 6,000 teenagers vote, or 6 people under the 6,000 people under the age of 18 that voted. No, they didn't. We have the records. No, they didn't. Okay, well, but we have 100 10,000 dead people voted. No, they didn't. There were 3. We caught that.
Oh, the one dead person that voted in Pennsylvania was the guy that voted for his dead mother.
His dead mother, who was a Republican voting for Trump.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the thing is when you can, and that's the sad reality of what Trump has bred is when you can hold on so deeply to your core to a core belief in spite of every fact that is lining up against you. That's a problem.
Yeah.
I want to have there's a friend of mine, and he's a friend's husband. He's a friend's husband, and I like her, so I tolerate him. And we were yakking on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, dude, that's not true. Dude, that's not true. Dude, that's not true. And finally, I just called him because I'm like, this isn't working via text. Like, we need to talk this shit out. And he was like, oh, well, what about? Because he's Captain Conspiracy Theory, and he was like, well, what about this? And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, okay, well, but doot. And he was like, oh, well, I didn't hear any of that. Of course you didn't. And he was like, oh, well, what about this? I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, I didn't hear it. So I spent a good 35 minutes on the phone with him while I'm watching all this shit at the Capitol going on, just shooting. And he's like, why have I never heard any of this shit before? I'm like, because you need to get your dumb ass off of Parler and Rumble.
And that's
what I was just about to ask.
Get out of the echo chamber.
I was going to ask you, where does he get his information
and start paying
from?
attention to actual facts.
Fox News, Parler, OA.
Dude, Fox News wasn't even putting up with shit yesterday. I will give them.
Depends on which part. The journalistic side, yes. The punditry side, no. Now, I will say this. because first of all, people searching for their own version of truth has been going on for a long time.
Answer shopping,
since the 90s when Fox News became a channel, and then everybody felt like,
well, once the news stopped being the news,
like now we got to
and it became media entertainment.
Our spin, because we got to get ratings, right?
Well, once you had a 24/7 news cycle, you had to have shit that would fill the airwaves 24/7.
Right. So that's been going on for a long time. I just feel like it's became hyperbolized since Trump, because now it's just like truth is just a convenient thing you could pick up or drop at it,
And that's the key thing that I keep. And this is this is how I finally got it through to him, which I love. And please, nobody listening, hold this against me. I just said, dude, here's the problem. I said, I'm arguing from a place of fact and logic. You're arguing from a place of emotion.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. I'm like, how much do you enjoy arguing with your wife? And he went, what? I'm like, when you argue with your wife, how does that feel? He's like, oh, it drives me batshit crazy because she gets all emotional about shit. And and he's like, oh, shit.
No,
I knew you was going before you dropped the analogy.
actually, Dave, you want to know what's funny about that? I made the same exact analogy, not about arguing with your wife, but
About reselling?
Shut up. No, I made the same exact analogy.
That can't
about,
be the first bell of the year. Hold on.
It wasn't, because I rang the bell on.
No, because that wasn't ridiculous. I didn't say anything
That was
ridiculous.
pretty ridiculous.
Oh, that's bullshit.
No, I just made the same analogy that, for the most part, women are known to lead with emotion.
Oh, my God. No, that should have been the first bell. Well, no.
I said are known to.
Oh, my goodness.
And men are
We're
known
not going to have this anti-feminism reselling
I
bullshit
love
in
women.
2021, Gino.
No,
I love
what's going
women.
to happen is his wedding going to get rescheduled indefinitely. That's what's going to happen. She's going to listen to this
2022.
episode.
What's happening?
Man, at the Capitol.
Hell no.
Hey, so while everyone's venting and taking out frustrations,
Okay, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Nike-
Are you sure they're done venting and
Oh,
taking out their
just-
frustrations?
I'm good.
no,
I'm-
I got to
good.
slip this in before the show's over. The only bullet point
Pause.
I got to get it.
Pause.
I'm going to kill myself. Why pause? I'm
You
trying to
said
say
let me
this.
slip this in.
You
Pause.
so perverted.
I wasn't gonna go there.
Pause.
I was
I wasn't even thinking that.
I was gonna throw in a that's what she said, but I was.
Pause.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So as we know, sneakers drops suck, right? Everything's
Yes.
getting botted. Everyone has bad luck, right?
Yes.
Today, Nike dropped the Nike Dunk IDs or the Nike Bayou Customs, right?
You were excited.
With the most
weren't you?
limited options ever.
I spent like 3 days designing all these dunks I was gonna get. It wasn't even bottable because they're custom, right?
Right.
I looked into it. People weren't botting them. Some
How
loaded
do you
out of
bot
stock.
an ID, though?
I'm saying that's a misconception, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't understand how they sold out this fast. I know like the CPFMs or the Levi's, or they've had collabs sell out, but today was the biggest flop on Nike's end. You had to be logged in, and if you had any preloaded designs, you had to start over from scratch. And then half the options were sold out from the get-go.
So what? Okay, so that's my first question, because I remember looking on there before it wasn't released yet, but you were able to customize.
Right.
Why even give you that option if you're not going to allow me to?
They reloaded after it
my
sold
thing
out.
is- hold on. Why would you ask that question knowing what we went through?
No, I know. I'm asking this for the listeners.
No. I'm just
asking
saying
for
you
the
asked for the
listeners.
listeners, but we already
We know.
We
I
went
already
through
know
that.
it's gonna be some bullshit.
We went through that though.
I
You
was
gave
spent-
us one option that we click on there like, hold on. This
You're
not even
right.
What you told me.
I was talking to Nightwing, and I'm like, yo, like this, we Nike. For those that know and who actually talked to people at Nike and actually been there, you know the bullshit. Like, so that's why it's funny when, you see the crowd or the sneaker community respond to something, and people like him or us or whoever in the know, we all have this collective eye roll. Like, okay, this is gonna be some bullshit. Like, you just know, like, that's why I didn't get all excited about it. I was interested to see what your take was, but I was going to save it for the show.
What he
because
says the show.
I knew.
well,
it,
yeah, I know.
I
That's
knew
why
it
I
would
didn't
be
text
bad.
it to him or,
I knew it would be bad, but for all the Nike IDs I've seen, even with the collabs and the hype, it's never been this many technical issue on the user's end.
well, when they do the IDs, they do have a certain amount of stock. Like, I remember when they did the iridescent Air Force Ones. Oh, this was like years ago, and like them bitches sold out like. Like, I mean, I don't know if it was as quickly as the dunks happened, because now everybody
I
knows
mean, you
love
saw
dunks.
Barry and Mama making the ID, so you knew that the hype was there. So I mean,
yeah, you know the hype was going in before they made the IDs.
yeah. So just for a while, people was showing off their ID customization, like they little.
But it was the most limited options ever.
So-
Yeah, I'm talking about prior to the release. This whole
And-
week,
yeah,
people were
well,
dropping.
in terms of limited options, I think it was better than I was hoping for, but the toe was limited.
Your
'cause
bar must be very low.
well, you couldn't separate like the toe from the toe box.
Right.
But wait a minute.
But other than that, I thought it was a decent.
But you said this was a flop on Nike's end?
I'm devastated. It was a flop on my end.
You sure? Yeah, I was going to say, because I don't think this is a flop on Nike's end because where did they lose?
Yeah, they made their
No,
money.
yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just.
This right here shows you why
I feel like you guys.
Why are dunks so overhyped? This right here proves
Well, this is
it.
gonna help kill it.
And my thing
I hope
is,
so, honestly.
Did you ever make a pair?
Oh, I've spent like 2-3 days making pairs, getting
Did
ready.
you make one today? Did you were able to order one?
No.
No, they was all.
So now this is like karma, right? So you and your friends, right? You beat everybody out with your bots from the normal base for one shoe. Now the normal people beat you out for a shoe.
That's a game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's what
But
but
I don't think
he
people
took
are.
it- he
But
took
I
his
don't
L.
think.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
respect
think.
it.
I don't think people are reselling these.
Oh, they gonna resell
They
it when
gonna
they
they
get
gonna
them.
resell it.
Well, I guarantee you stock. That's
Honestly,
fine.
I want to
They
see
gonna
this.
resell-
I have
you
never
know they
seen.
gonna try.
No, I'm not saying they're not gonna try. I just never in my life would I ever think that people are gonna try to flip IDs.
Oh,
You
you
know,
ain't been on eBay.
No. I've seen limited like.
Hey, they do it without the box too.
No, I've seen like limited runs, like those iridescents, but that's something unique, like because the iridescent, like having a whole entire iridescent Air Force One, you don't really see that that often. Like an orange and white dunk or
Like when Kobe passed, and I've seen this lately, like a lot of people are posting their Kobe IDs to sell. Like I've seen a lot of LeBron 9 and 10 IDs for sale. And I'll
you
even
know,
look
the
at one
soldier
like
joints?
that's the like I mean some people they were smart because one dude he put like 5 times for Kobe rings or 24. Like I didn't like to see a lot of ones where guys had their names on them. Like I seen a couple of them, but for the most part they were just like IDs, but they wouldn't personalize with their name on them. So people who live on eBay darn near, I see it all the time. So with dunks coming out, so if somebody made like a Chicago dunk, you better believe they flipping that or a court purple or a 7-Eleven
They
dunk.
have the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, so they're
I've
gonna
seen
flip it.
everywhere.
They're gonna flip it.
I mean, no matter, but it's no
I wasn't
matter
even
what
that
it
big fan of a
is.
7-Eleven dunk, but I guess.
I mean, think about it. eBay is a free marketplace.
No.
So-
eBay, yeah. I mean, I'm not
But that's what-
mad
but-
at eBay. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying it's eBay's fault or eBay's problem, but it's the consumer. The consumer is dumb enough to not do their research to figure out what it is that they're buying.
But
So-
Nike left that void for the dunk people, for them to make the dunk and then sell it to the people who weren't able to get dunks all year.
And you see that Foot Locker is about to get four or five colorways in the next.
Well, they're
week or
supposed to
two.
be getting what the collegiate pack.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
so
coming out.
I mean,
again.
it's gonna be. It's turning into the Jordan 1s. It's gonna die soon.
I'm not even okay. The Jordan 1s don't seem like they done anytime soon, but I will say this.
as much as we want them to.
Oh no, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like for the last couple of years, there's been a part of me. I don't know what percentage, but there's been a part of me like I can't wait for y'all to leave. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I was like I can't wait for this bubble to burst.
Oh yeah, that LeBron voting had me feeling like that.
I'm like I can't wait for
That
y'all
LeBron
to go.
voting had
Like
me
ain't
feeling
no,
like that.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like,
until
ain't
the
there
shoe
Pokemon
wins
cards
that
or
you
something for
can't
y'all to get
get.
into?
Oh, I just sent my Charizard to PSA to get graded.
That's what I'm saying.
I
I
can't
was
wait.
like, dog, like, God damn it, is there anything else y'all can like jump on? Is there another bandwagon for y'all to jump on?
Something. When I see them vote for them LeBron 11s over the Harden
I ain't even
Classic
vote. I was like,
7s,
ain't no point, bro.
I was pissed. Now that was the only two that got wrong. Everything else was pretty on.
Them
par.
purple.
Wait, hold up.
Once I saw
Somebody
those Zoom
did vote
generations drop, I was like, okay.
Wait, because that gold LeBron 11 did beat out the hardwood.
Yes, man. Like everybody, that's what happened when casual fans come into somewhere where you're not normal.
Because wait, hold up. Because when the LeBron 11s came out,
Nobody,
everybody
he
hated
didn't even
them.
wear them because he
Yeah.
couldn't put his insole in them. So he wore Soldiers that year. So
That's
he
like
didn't even wear
Mitchell.
them.
That's
I
like
got
Mitchell.
a pair of 11s.
That's
but he
like-
didn't even wear them that year.
That's like
11s
Mitchell
were
and Ness.
horrible.
That's
Yeah,
like
they
Mitchell
were
and Ness
horrible,
being
but
like,
they
what
went over
jerseys should we
7.
drop between Harold Miner and Michael Jordan? They're like, oh, let's get the Harold Miner jersey. It's
You
like,
wouldn't
no,
go for the Hero Minor jersey?
fuck no, none of them are Jordan. I mean, now they make a million Jordan jerseys, but when they first started making it, ain't no way you gonna pick a
People,
Harold.
got
Miner.
every
people
Jordan
were,
jersey.
people
You
were
wouldn't get
upset
a
over the
Hero Minor?
Stewie Sixes. Now let me say this: people were upset that the Stewie Sixes were losing to the gold.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't mad at
The
that.
gold, because I love the Stewie Sixes, but I'm a Jigga fan, man. So that gold watch the
gold-
throne
oh, the gold
LeBron.
the gold
So that's the
throws.
one I'm
The
like.
Stewie Sixes just always seem childish to me. Like
I've
as a grown
always
man,
liked 'em.
as a grown man, I just could never see me wearing them.
No, I would. That definitely would never be a shoe. I think a man.
I just
a
couldn't
grown
imagine
man
it.
should
It
wear.
just
But I
seemed-
think that would look sweet for
I feel like that was
kids
always
only.
like a kid's shoe to me. Like that'd have been like cute for that. But
It's a cool concept.
yeah, like
They
but
was
that's what I'm
executed
saying.
well. but I feel like I like to watch LeBron 9 sport. I mean,
but once
people
those
want
Zoom generations dropped, the
But-
purple ones, I was like, nah, okay.
There's no way that they. And I was like, why do you want another black and red 8? Just like people were voting for the.
Oh, them eights made it.
Yes, over the Zoom purple Zoom generations. They
That's what
voted
it was. Man,
that
God
black.
damn it.
Then people voted for the Laker colorway over the Laker colorway 3s over the Rookie of the Year Zoom Generations. I'm like, how many more Laker color LeBrons y'all want? He gave you a Media Day 8 and a Media Day 7.
And that basically would have been a Media Day 3 because
yeah,
it was flip-flop.
like, oh my, are you serious?
Oh, those the ones he when he passed Michael Jordan for the scoring.
No, that was a 16.
Those is okay.
Those
yeah,
were
right,
battle.
right.
That was in the first one. That was battle against the animal print LeBron too.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Oh my God.
it was a dope concept though. But it really allowed you to show you who was in there, who was like just clicking buttons.
Speaking of dope concepts, something I want to touch on real quick. So we're always saying how terrible Adidas and their marketing is.
Yeah.
They've got a project coming up with Henry Jones, who's actually like an illustrator, just cartoonist. And I'm not entirely sure what they're up to, but it's kind of like they're using like a grassroots like skateboarder to kind of like sketch up advertisement for their new models. And it's the first Adidas marketing campaign that's caught my eye and thought being executed properly.
I mean, it's probably the first Adidas marketing campaign in years.
I was gonna say most marketing.
It's geared towards skateboarding, but it looks like they're putting effort into it. And I just want, Henry Jones is a cool dude. I want to shout it out.
Oh, that's what's up. All right, let's try to get to some type of structure for the show. So let's knock out.
We do a top 5, or
Yeah,
we could
do our
do
top 5
of the year.
Well, we could do. Well, sure. I don't have a top of the year. I guess we. Okay, so we'll get into that. We got a Royal Rumble going on right now too. So let's do our top 5, and then we'll get into the whole top sneakers of the year. All right, so our 5 sneaker releases from the previous week. We got the Adidas Dame 7 Acid Mint. I think these are better than the Dame 6s. I think it really is going to come down to colorways, which, I mean, I guess you could say for any sneaker. But these are this is what I like about them. Because I think too often we see the same colorways. Like we'll see like a black, white, and red or, whatever, especially like a tan color. This was a decent shoe. I liked it. Have you seen them? No, you didn't.
I've seen
the best Dames, I think, would
last
be
year's.
the Dame.
I like the Dame. So,
Yeah, last year's was.
I will say they're more
think
basic.
I think it's the Dame 4, whichever one they did, the Bape colorway, where they had the two different.
Honestly,
Bape
I
ones.
can't even tell you what
I
happened.
remember
Beyond
those
last year, I couldn't
I
tell you
remember those
what Dame
Babe, but I
looked
like
like.
it last year.
We'll come back to it, but Babe's pulling a Warren Lotus, if you will, and re-releasing more Nike-looking silhouettes, other than the original Air Force One
doing Jordan silhouettes too now.
and Dunk.
I honestly, this isn't a knock to anybody, but I just cannot, like, how do I want to say this?
You're about to say it's
I'm
not
just-
a knock to
my
anybody, but
point
it's kind of
was-
about to be a knock to
It's
everybody.
about to be a knock, but it's like
The
not meant
OG
to be.
one, the OG.
No disrespect intended, but
I
Hear
just,
me out. The OG company to knock it off in the first place kind of backed off and was like, "Oh wait, this is hot again," and then fuck it, we're gonna do it some more.
to me, if all you're doing is changing the solution, is coming up with colorway, like, I guess that's creative, but not really.
But
Like,
technically,
I
they're
just-
not coming up with colorways. They're just
Yeah, they're doing the original Shadow
No,
colorway.
but that's the part. It's like I just that would be like taking our show and then changing like one segment and naming it something else, but like the rest of the show is the same.
Have you been reading my notes?
Yes. So
I
like,
mean, I feel like.
imagine like I came out with Thriller instead of like Billie Jean. I came out with like Jean Billie.
I gave him
And-
a front because Puffy sampled the DeBarges and it was still hot and it was very little changed.
Yeah, but if you talk to a lot of producers though, like there was a problem with that. And he got sued up his ass for out.
I mean, they
for doing
still
that shit.
sample. Why he sampled it? I mean, he still paid.
I mean, he ain't sample. He literally took the whole entire.
I know, I'm saying
the
he paid-
whole loop.
I'm
he
saying,
took the whole.
I'm saying he
the
still
whole
he still
beat.
had to pay for it. Like he still paid for it.
Yeah, he got sued like crazy.
But he sampled it, right? I see it in the credits that he's on there.
Huh?
I see on the credits that the barges are
Yeah,
credited.
after the fact, like, he got sued like crazy in the beginning.
I didn't hear that.
Speaking
Yeah.
of sampling, are we going to talk about Kim and Kanye?
Why?
It's relevant news.
Is
Is
it?
it?
Uh,
I don't care.
even if it was only that sentence, that's all that's out there.
I don't
It didn't work
care.
out, sorry,
Whatever
guys.
him and his wife going through, man, that's on him. Like I hope they work it out. I don't want to see nobody's family break up. But
I say bring Amber Rose back.
oh my god.
No, like one, that's no. Then two, I feel like looking at Lamar Odom post the Kardashian exit, I'm actually looking forward to Kanye getting. If this is the reason why he's been acting like this, because one thing about dating a black woman, you could be up to here, but she's always going to bring you down to earth.
She keeps you
with
grounded.
starting with your mama, then to your wife, and even if you have
got
a daughter,
some sisters or some
or if
cousins.
your daughter, they're gonna
Yeah.
keep you grounded. They're gonna keep that ego
Yeah.
in check. he didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have his. I don't think he had a sister. His mom passed away, so his father wasn't like consistent like his mom was there, so he didn't have that. And when you got people around you enabling your behavior because it brings publicity, which they can use for traffic, for their business ventures. So, I mean, for the family's sake, I hope because the kids are involved, and then it's nothing like seeing your kid every day. You know what I'm saying? As both parents.
Why are we talking about this?
But just like that,
I'm just trying to figure out why is this topic. Like, I
I'm
don't
just
care.
addressing it for
I know. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, like
Some
his
of our
shoes-
listeners are Kanye fans. It's just.
No, they not. They just
Some
like
of
his
them
ugly ass shoes. That's
Yeah.
all that is.
I'll take
I feel like if
That
you
don't
want to bring
make-
up
that
the
don't make
music,
them
maybe.
fans.
If you want to bring up the shoes, definitely. Like, I'm divorcing somebody. I don't care.
I don't know. I felt it was relevant.
They probably
There's not much
think
more to it.
Kanye's first album was Jesus.
I went to that tour. It was pretty dope.
I went to that tour too. It wasn't bad. It's probably one of the best tours.
It was.
I've
I
been
mean, it was the stage, and it was just a
His
waste of money.
performance
But
and the stage presence, everything was fire. Like it was dope.
Uh,
Watch the
y'all-
Throne might be the best
Y'all got
concert.
something in common.
Watch the Throne might be the best.
oh, look at that. They
concert.
became best friends.
No,
Slam.
no, absolutely.
Dunk.
Oh, yeah. They're going to slam dunk it
Look,
out.
did you see the smile on his face?
No,
2021, we're actually gonna be friends.
no. It's y'all. Yeah. I can't take y'all. I can't copyright on y'all slam dunk. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you
I
must
don't know.
have-
They
you
got
must
that
have-
reseller.
Y'all must have
competition going on.
divorced, so that's why you wanted to bring
Yeah.
that up.
What the fuck?
Now that Gino has become the reseller of the show.
Nah, it makes sense.
Number 4, we got the Nike Air Force One Low. I believe in Daruma. Am I saying that right? That's that all white Air Force One that
I
the
was gonna
panels
say,
come off.
Francis not here.
I know.
We don't know what you're saying if it's correct.
Yeah. We should call him, make sure I pronounce that correctly. But yeah, that was kind of cool. I don't know, but I am over the whole like, hey, there's another shoe underneath this panel if you cut it off or burn it off. Like, I feel like that's kind of been maxed out by this
I
point.
mean, I like how the shoe looked when it looked like it's just the canvas on there. I think that looked pretty cool. Like whatever the material is, this
I like it was
overlaying
underneath. I
material.
just feel like why not just do that?
Why not just do? Why not?
Yeah,
just do
like
two
why I gotta
different
go through the
shoes?
trouble of like ripping this shit off? You can just.
I mean, sometimes you want to have it like that look, and then maybe you get tired of it, and now you can cut it off and have it. You know,
So you gonna put it back on?
no, you'd be done with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Once you cut it off, it's a wrap. Like,
Yes,
dog, if
it's
I
done.
wanted all that shit, I could just customize it. But whatever. Number 3, you got the Nike Air Max 95 recycled wool. I guess this whole recycle thing is gonna go on forever too. I ain't mad at it though. I mean, saving the planet. One shoe at a time. So whatever. I thought these were hot. Adidas Superstar Chinese New Year. Not the black pair, but the white one. Boys are nice. And I actually tried to get a pair, but then they go to a size 13, which makes absolutely no sense because why would you limit that colorway when you come out with other basic-ass colorways and extended sizes? But, whatever. And then number 1, I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. Kylian Mbappe? Am I saying that right? Okay, whatever. Nike LeBron 18.
Yeah, you saying it right.
Am I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no clue. We're gonna agree.
You know what? I just like your ringing endorsement, so I'm just going to
There
go
you
with
go.
that.
Those are straight. I like those. Are pretty cool.
Ugliest release of the week. Got this is probably the first time we ain't had a Jordan on the list too in a while. Ugliest release of the week. Adidas Rod Laver. Am I saying that right?
Y'all like the
Cloud
Rod
White Green?
Lavers?
No,
I like the
never
Rod
been a
Lavers.
fan of those. They don't look like. I don't even know what they look
The only
like.
thing I don't like how Adidas constantly tries to basically re-release the shoe. Just keep it coming out like all year round. Like
One thing is you call the shoes
Back for the
trash,
first time.
but you end up liking the ugliest release of the week. How did that work?
no, I've always liked the Rod Lavers. It's a comfortable ass shoe too.
Look at him. He want no answers too. I'm talking about you. You was staring like, yeah, I want to know this answer. Call all my shoes trash.
Nah,
And then, like I said, Adidas just do a piss poor ass job.
I know
of
somebody was
reintroducing
rigging
their
that New
shoes.
Balance shouldn't have lasted that long though. I know that New Balance should have not lasted that long.
I mean, what it went,
okay,
I
so
mean,
we gonna
with-
get into this. Okay, so we got
with what it went up against. I mean, I'm
so we
just
going
saying.
against the okay. So we got our Royal Rumble going on right now, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Part of me was proud because, like especially with the Yeezy, because in my mind I'm like, okay, of course the Yeezy's gonna win because it's a Yeezy, right? And the New Balance beat up the Yeezy, and not that I wanted you to lose, but it was just kind of like, you know what? People are actually basing this on the merits of the shoe and not the name. Okay, cool. Because the New Balances, they were decent.
They were
decent.
baked knife. The color was different, or
They was
maybe like the
decent.
Fresh Goods New Balance or something like that. Then I can understand that. But not no black, white, and gold New Balance. Just beating everybody like.
I mean,
that.
I mean, well, this is because
So
I'm biased against Yeezy, but I would pick them.
New Balance. It's a Watch the Throne colorway.
No, ain't no Watch the Throne colorway. Don't disrespect the Watch the Throne sneakers like that.
I thought it was. I mean, them against the Yeezy, that was an easy choice for me. Now, I'm trying to think who they beat out. They beat out the Kawhis, which I think we all agree should have won. And then they beat out.
That was a Kawhi.
That's what I'm saying. We agree that they should have beat out the Kawhi.
Yeah.
They beat out the Yeezy and they beat out. Let me go to the Instagram.
They beat out the first 3 shoes. It
Yeah,
beat
I
out
know,
the
I'm looking.
Yeezy, it beat out. What was that shoe you had?
I'm looking right now.
Did it beat out your Dame?
No,
It beat out.
Sire
It beat out the
Dame.
Asics. It beat out the Sean Witherspoon joints.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That was the first time
That
I
was
was
a
kind of like.
shock.
That was an upset.
That was a shock.
I would call that an upset because I honestly thought the Aces were going to win, and honestly,
Just off the name.
well, no, yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought they were both decent shoes. I actually liked the concept behind the Asics. They lost to my pick, the Saya Collective, the Mosh collab, and because they beat out the New Balance and the Pumas, and then the Don Issue 2s. Right now they're going up against the what are these? The Vans, the Mr. Cartoon joints.
Francis picked those?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's
So I
funny
was
because
like, I didn't put those on.
a
there.
lot of people were kind of like, how are these Sayas still winning? I'm like, look, I'm letting y'all vote. Like, now I will say this. He's actually like reposting it and shit. I'm pretty sure his supporters and fans are getting involved in it. And that's the point. Like, if brands want to get involved and push their shit, hey,
They're gonna run up on your doorstep and break in.
I want you to know this list.
Because of the voting.
This list was really hard for me to make. I went through it like 3 or 4 times.
Because it wasn't really. I mean, let's be real. It wasn't really much that really came out that really stood out.
I wanted to
Can
put
we
the
talk
Union
about it,
Force
or
on
have
my
we
list.
not?
no, we can
shared
talk about it.
everything
We can
yet?
talk about it. We can talk about it.
So as you guys know, I agree with you now. I'm not arguing, but I struggled with separating Nike and Nike SB. Because it was like my favorite Nike was the Plum Dunks, but my favorite SB was the Chunkies.
So before you say SB, you say what?
Nike.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you now,
Right.
but I'm saying like I was sitting at home staring at the Plums and Chunkies, like it broke my heart to pick.
You're staring at some chunky plums.
Because my whole thing is, okay, so just to give people a baseline as to what we did with our list. Because what annoys me is when I see all these lists, top sneakers of the year, it's mostly like Jordan and Nike. And not to say that Jordan and Nike don't deserve the lion's share of slots. There are a lot of other dope shoes that come out that I think don't get enough attention or love because they don't have the brand or name recognition. And so what we try to do is try to balance it out a little bit. So we each picked 5 shoes because it's 30 days, 6 of us theoretically. And so we each picked 5 shoes, and they had to be from different brands to kind of balance out the field. I didn't want 5 Jordans or 5 Nikes. I want, to kind of give people an option and choice. And so, and that's the way we're going about doing it. And pleasantly surprised. Like this year, I think we did it differently because usually I have that little spin wheel. And a lot of times you can't really see the shoe. You can't really get a good look at it. So I like doing this heads up thing, because one, the voting, we're able to tabulate without nobody feeling like somebody's rigging anything.
I'm just
like you did that one year.
Bullshit.
I'm curious to see if Bodega can figure out how this works.
Yeah, hopefully Bodega figures out. Do they have any shoes? Did anybody pick a Bodega?
No, actually, I'll go ahead and say they just dropped one of the worst SB dunks I've seen in quite a while.
You talking about the baseball glove looking one?
I
like
like
those.
To me,
I really like that friends and family
me,
pair
hey,
though. That's
I
The
see
leather
what-
jacket was nice too.
I see what you're saying about the baseball glove, but I saw it and thought Star Wars Ewok.
No, it's a baseball.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of thought that too. But
It's the jewel swoosh that threw it off for me, for the most part.
I ain't mad at
So
that.
out of everything on that shoe, the jewel swoosh is what threw it off.
Well, I don't like the shoe overall, but like that specifically just didn't. I just don't like it.
Thank you. Just say that then. Like,
I ain't mad at that
pick
shoe.
on the jewel swoosh.
If it was available
Well,
in the size,
I didn't like it on the Supreme Dunks either.
I don't like the jewel swoosh on the dunk in general.
I don't like it on an Air Force One usually.
I think it belongs
now
on the
you
Air
tripping.
Force One.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
like
you
I get Air Force
should.
One mid with the quickness with them jewel swooshes, but because it kind of takes me back. Like it's more of a nostalgia factor for me. But with that being said, looking at this list and looking at the shoes that are coming up, And like, first of all, I appreciate everybody's involvement because we're getting like high traffic, and a lot of people are voting and whatnot. And it's fun. It's fun to look back. And I think, like I said, it seems like so far everybody's basing their voting on the merits of the shoe and not the name. Because like the fact that New Balance beat the Yeezy, I mean, now once again I might be biased, but I thought that Yeezy was trash. And so to me, it wasn't.
Might be.
No, I am. Okay. I am. I am
Thank
biased. So I was just kind of like, yo, easy pick, New Balance. And but I really thought the Yeezy was going to win because, it has Yeezy on the name. So
Who picked it, Gino?
No, I like the quantum basketball ones.
Which color?
The frozen blue?
Oh, okay.
I don't even think I picked an Adidas shoe.
You know
might
what?
not.
Actually,
I don't think I
picked,
did.
Last year I picked the Superstar Blondie, and then this year he dropped a different colorway. So that's
So
why
you
I'm back
picked the
on
other
it.
one.
I'm his only fan, I think.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Like the website?
I'm not. I think his website is Thames.
No, OnlyFans. You said OnlyFans.
Oh, that went right over my head.
But yeah, so I mean, we got a lot of shoes to get through. Shout out to Mosh and D from Side Collective. I thought that shoe was dope. I missed out on them too.
I ordered the Chuckies.
Yeah, I got the alternate galaxies.
Nice.
So I'm still waiting on my pair to come through. I was gonna text him like, "Yo, what's up?" But he got this thing about you asking him. So I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I
was
commented
like that.
once.
I probably
never
could get
again.
away with it,
I like that.
but I'm trying to be respectful because he has everybody. I don't want to be, do you know who I am?
I forgot to shout out to Brooklyn Basquiat, man. Him and Babs went to the Air Kai pop-up in New York and grabbing no Air Kais, and he threw a shirt in for me, so I appreciate it. I like the presentation like I put on Instagram. It was nice. It was dope. The dust bag feels nice. To get the poster. The shoes come with socks. I liked it. It was dope. I look forward to wearing them soon. So, I liked it. It was pretty dope.
Brooklyn Basquiat, that's my guy. He money bags, what up?
Yeah.
Ooh, people.
I mean, he listened to the show. He hit me up. Like,
I know I'm
Yeah,
playing. Jesus.
we chop it up on the regular.
Yeah.
Nobody's mad.
Ain't nobody say who was mad.
No, who you getting loud with?
Nobody's getting loud. What is wrong with you?
He's mad because you got that card
Check
with
your
that
ass. With
Falcon. That's why he's mad.
No, I was hoping nobody was gonna notice.
I was like, what kind of Falcon is that?
I was hoping nobody was gonna notice.
Thunderbird.
So what happened?
Hey, as soon as he walked in, I'm looking. I'm like,
He's
wait a
got a
minute.
big
I was
jersey on
hoping-
with a Kyler Murray fitted.
I
Like,
was hoping. I was hoping nobody was gonna notice.
You a two-tone dirty bird.
Because I was like, all right, because like I really wanted to wear my Vic jersey today. I don't know why, but I really wanted to wear it. And it dawned on me, because usually when I get jerseys, the first thing I do is find a matching hat, because I wear hats all the time. And I was like, well, I can't go without a hat. And so I'm like, fuck, I don't have a fucking Falcons hat, so I got to go with this. And I was hoping, well, it's a bird, it's black, nobody's going to notice. And
everybody knows the
I
difference.
should have known that.
I had
should have
no idea.
known.
Everybody knows the difference.
I should have known that Sherlock and Holmes was going to fucking see.
Sherlock and Holmes. That was slick. That was
I should have
slick.
known. Like that's my fault. I take blame. I take responsibility. Y'all got me.
Oh, man.
I was really hoping I could finesse
What old
it.
cartoon that had the Falcon? The dude's name was Falcon on it or something like that. Was it when he was Space Ghost?
No, wasn't he called the
Oh,
Falcon?
yeah, the Falcon. That was the old cartoon. Yeah,
Why don't you just go with the Bulls fitted?
That's what
Huh?
Why don't you just go with the Bulls fitted?
Because I got rid of my black one. That's what I'm saying. I got rid of it because
Yeah, better get a Grand Hustle hat to go to Rubber Band Man. Wow, that's a Tyler Band. Vic was in the video. We would have gave you a pass. We would have gave you a pass for an Urban Legend hat, man.
I should have just wore no hat. That's what I should have did. But oh man. From one rebel to another, Benjamin Hicks got arrested for beating up the elderly or something. I don't know. What did he do?
His entourage supposedly took the phone and hospitalized.
First of all, what? Repeat that.
From what I read,
His what?
I don't think he himself did too
No,
much.
but
of
what did you just say? His
entourage?
That is such bullshit. Like, go ahead, continue. I'm not even gonna get into it.
But supposedly there was an altercation, probably a shoe deal, and someone took a picture of him. Ultimately, is what sparked the fight. From my
Who
understanding,
is he that he got? Okay, so
I worked.
You know
You can't say that when he stopped by the table and.
I'll
I
say,
can say that.
when it comes
no,
to
I'm talking
morals.
about, and what's the name wanted to take? She yelled at me about taking that picture with him.
oh yeah, she damn near.
I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and say it. When it comes to morals and ethics and this and that, he has a reselling group called Boom and Supply. I used to work for him. He shorted me on money. He owes me a pair of chunky donkeys. I mean, we didn't
should
end
run
on
up on
good
him.
terms. I'm saying resell. I got to watch my mouth on the show now. I'm not trying to start unnecessary beefs, but.
I highly doubt he's gonna call in.
I think you could take that one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But point was, I've worked with him and I've seen firsthand. Like,
I feel like that needs to be a recurring segment on the show.
People just call
Could Dunks take his milk money?
Yeah, you know what? In this case, I think he could. Like,
I think you can win that one.
If I had to put money on
at
it.
the end of the day, he's well connected. Like, he knows people, but at the end of the day, he's just using his hype to charge people too much to join a chat room.
Bruh,
That's what it is. His business just isn't up there. It's not booming.
All right, so
you sound like NoJo.
Actually,
Real talk.
this look like the haters ball. You and Benjamin Kicks, like when he went on this thing and you was the haters ball and you was like, you know what I'm saying, he was making too much money, so they called the police on him.
I made a post a while ago. Like, I used to work with him.
Benjamin Kick's mama had one big titty and one little titty, and they call her Biggie Smalls.
So it's not Benjamin, it's Buck Nasty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom. It was booming supply.
You know about to play haters ball, don't you?
No.
That has to be one of my favorite segments,
Oh,
bro.
very yes. That when he was the George Bush, that was funny too.
But there's another big guy, Kix Malik, who just caught some kind of drug charge, and it's crazy how like these young up and coming kids, they've got such potential careers. You make one mistake, and it's kind of hard to bounce.
What?
You make one or so big mistakes, or you fuck up your image like this, and it's kind of hard to bounce back and gain people's trust in a community like this.
You said they have careers.
I know it does feel like we're using it.
Okay, maybe they've got a following.
careers.
They're somewhat
mean,
influential.
I'll say
Other
following.
people-
I'll give them that. I'll say
But they're
following.
able to monetize their following so they can have a career. So it's
I'm
not
just
a
saying,
career.
like these young kids who have potential are just like, you know what I'm saying? Fake
Throwing it
education
away.
did the same thing. These guys are just idiots.
It should be like that little kid.
I don't
Ryan,
know
Ryan
what
in
the hell
stairs.
happened with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm still trying to figure out what went
I'm
on.
fucking up my own situation, probably. You know?
I mean, I don't know.
Are you
That fake
saying- are you
education
saying
thing.
too much?
Because every time I think about fake education, I think about Atlanta. Like, that trip to Atlanta had to be the wildest.
Yeah, that was funny.
Like, bro, the thing that sticks out to me the most is that we had that house party, and then I go out to the porch, and there's like 30 white people on the porch. I'm like, who the fuck invited
Free
y'all?
education would come get them food and bring it to the porch.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, who
And
is
then
y'all?
the
Who?
dude got too high and then he was running up in the
Yeah,
street.
running up and down the street. We was like in the expensive part. What was that, a Buckhead or Bankhead?
I don't know what part of it. I think it was Bankhead.
I think it was Bankhead, like, you know, the Ritz part, the rich part
we
of
wasn't there, Dunks. Yeah.
Man, I know y'all got to go on a road trip with us. But we got one scheduled for September.
Do we?
You guys make
We got-
plans,
oh.
and I just got to show up and be like, hey,
Nah,
I'm
you
coming.
invited.
That was
We're going to Chicago,
That was
2017.
That was
wasn't it?
2017.
Yeah, 2017.
You said we're going to Chicago in 2017?
No, we're going to, yes, we're going to go back to the future. No, we're going to go to Chicago.
I low-key would like to
Yeah,
sometime.
real talk. Like, anything previous to 2019 is just, but no, Chicago. I definitely want to go to Chicago this year. I mean, one is close and it ain't really too expensive. But then two, Scully, he's running that Stadium Goods store.
shout out Stadium Goods. You could sell stuff for so much higher on there. Yeah. They got celebrities coming in.
Shout out Scully. See, I got hijacked.
I was just like, bruh. But back to Benjamin Kicks with the Z. So
You gotta highlight that.
yeah, because he's a rebel. He's been arrested on robbery charges following an incident at the Fontainebleau Hotel at Miami Beach on New Year's Eve. Catherine Fernandez Rondo, the state attorney prosecutor for the 11th Judicial Circuit of the Miami-Dade County, dang, like, they really want him bad, don't they? Announced on Twitter the arrest of Benjamin Kicks, whose real name is Benjamin Kapushnik.
It would have been so much easier, right?
Bruh. Show Dave that. Show Dave that.
Oh,
Bruh.
I posted that one.
I'm not, I wonder.
Dude, I can give you my stash. Like
Bruh.
I've got a folder already.
So Guru just showed me this meme. Like, I don't even feel comfortable sharing it, but it is hilarious.
Just
Anyway,
yeah.
Benjamin's name is Benjamin Kapushnik. Anyway.
With a Z.
With a Z, yes. Police say shortly after midnight on New Year's Eve, Benjamin and his group of friends got into, I'm just going to call him his last name because I find that more entertaining.
Wait, they said it was shortly after.
Shortly after midnight
Why
on New
is
Year's Eve,
why is
Kapushnik.
Why is he still awake? Doesn't he got a curfew?
You would think 10 p.m. should have been his bedtime. But
Man.
anyway, and his group of friends got into an altercation with 19-year-old Luel Alimu after Kapushnik believed that Luell had taken a picture of him without his consent. Like, who the fuck is he? Like, is he Prince now? Like he took his picture. What was it? Whatever, bro. Like, he's just so famous he can't stand the thought of somebody taking a picture of him. The situation quickly escalated, resulting in Kapushnik allegedly grabbing Luell's phone before he allegedly was attacked by Kapushnik's group of friends, leaving him with serious injuries to his body, which are said to require hospitalization and surgery. Who was this group of friends? 'Cause I can't imagine them being any more different than him, which is like that had to be
Maybe he run
the
around.
sorriest ass whooping.
He run around with a bunch of what was that? Latarian Milton.
Who?
Was it Latarian Milton, the black kid that said he wanted to do hood whack things with his twins? You don't remember that?
No.
2 years
There's
ago?
a chance there's just a group of guys using him for his resources.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
there is.
really? Oh, that sounds like Tekashi.
I was gonna say this feels
Whoa.
like a Tekashi situation
Like, for real.
where Benjamin Kiss got this in his mind.
Wait,
He's more of
hold
a badass than he really
Hold
is.
up. So he run around with some bloods.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like Tekashi. Either Tekashi is the Benjamin Kicks of rap, or Benjamin Kicks is the Tekashi of sneakers. One of the two, and that's what it feels like. It is like this whole he kicked somebody's ass and put them in the hospital. No, he didn't. Him or his people. I'm sorry. Fake news. I'm not buying it. Anyway, internet fame of celebrity grants no one the right to violate the law, said the prosecutor. The actions that put the young man in the hospital are crimes, plain and simple. The accumulated evidence was placed before our criminal court. Will make that point clear. Kapushnik has been processed in the Dade County Jail and is currently awaiting a bond hearing. He was charged with strong arm robbery, which is a second-degree felony. Ooh. Oh, man, okay. I didn't know it was a felony.
He got YouTube money. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll live. Oh, he's going to get so many downloads off of this.
He just earned his stripes. Think about it. Now you get to say, I've been to the joint.
I'm out of here. On that, Gene.
Oh, dang. We offended you with the Benjamin Kick story that much? You was like, that's bullshit. I'm out of here. I quit the show in protest. Anyway, there's some shoes that I do want to kind of talk about. God damn it. Where are we at?
I know shoes coming out.
We got the Supreme Nike SB Lows that are coming out later this year.
We're finally going to see some yellow Jordan 1s. It's not quite what everyone wanted, but they're coming.
You know what? I ain't mad at those. And
That's like
it's about fucking time. Like, dog, like,
that
I mean,
tricolor one that's coming
no,
out.
it's like black and yellow. It's like,
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's not what I had in mind, but I'll take it.
We've
I
had
ain't
black
mad
and
at it.
yellow Jordan ones before.
not the highs, though. Not the high OGs.
We don't need the highs.
Yes, we do. We had the mids. Like,
For the love of the game.
It's okay.
Was that the
First
for the love
off,
of the game?
first of all, you know what? All these people like, well,
Old
if you
love,
don't,
new love. That's
if you
what
don't
it
like
is.
the mids, shut the fuck up. Look, I don't like mids because I don't like mids. I like highs, and on top of that, I know why they came out with the mids, and they came out with the mids because they were trying to distinguish themselves. They didn't want to give us the highs because they had Nike on them, and they were trying to establish themselves as a brand. So they came out with the mids, which basically is like what, like 3/4 of an inch shorter than a.
But see, it's different for you to say that you don't like them because you.
But no, all these people was like, oh, like all these old people were mad because we got mids, and it's like, shut the hell up. You just started collecting sneakers last year.
One
and all of a sudden you
thing-
want to lecture me about what's hot and what's not. Buy your shoes, shut the hell up, and just enjoy yourself.
One thing I want to say about mids. Clearly, I like highs more, but I like mids when it's a unique colorway, not trying to like recycle or slightly restructure an existing.
But they've
high
always
colorway.
done that with mids.
For the most part, and that's why I think they're so fucked. But every now and then they'll do like a unique one, and that'll catch.
No,
my
I'm
eye.
talking about the unique colorways. They've always done the more unique colorways with mids.
Just like I like highs and lows of Air Force Ones, and usually the mids, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm straight. Like,
Same with dunks for me.
yeah, it's just like I don't.
Nobody
listen.
likes mid dunks.
Very rarely. Yeah.
Mid dunks are horrible.
And the worst was sometimes I used to have.
I
The
feel like that's a
Velcro
euphemism
strap.
for him, the actual dunks.
No, like real talk, mid dunks are
Okay.
just horrible.
Well, go ahead.
That's
What was you
like
saying?
the worst shit.
Well, I was saying with some SB mid dunks, some have the Velcro, some don't, and I was saying either way,
Yeah.
I don't like them, but I
I
prefer
just like that,
without.
especially when the mids had that Jumpman on the heel, which just it was like an eyesore to me. It just bugged the hell out of me, and I could not stand it.
Would you rather Jordan mid have Nike Air somewhere on it, or like the Wings logo all over?
I
it?
just, to me, the
Wings.
mid just always seemed like the retarded little brother of the like Jordan 1 High.
Cause see,
and that's what bothers. Like, so that's how I see it. It's just like, you know, you can get Beyonce or Solange. Like, I want Beyonce. I don't want Solange.
Cause see,
like,
I've
Solange
had
cool
I've had
in real
mids
life.
before.
I don't want anybody to think I hate Solange. I'm just using it as an analogy. Like,
Cause when they had the what was that, the Air Force pack when they did, what was that, like almost 14 years ago?
Okay, let me say it like this. Maybe it's because I like Solange and I think she makes dope music, and so I don't want to use her negatively.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay, so let me give a different analogy. I want Dominique Wilkins. I don't want Gerald Wilkins. Like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had to pick a team, like, so I don't want these Gerald Wilkins of sneakers. I want the Dominique Wilkins of
Neither
sneakers.
one got a ring, so I guess it don't matter, right?
Who got the ring?
Nobody. Neither one of them.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Like, I don't want Gerald
They're
Wilkins.
both
Like,
losers.
Gerald Wilkins' claim to fame is getting torched by Jordan for talking shit.
No, Gerald Wilkins' claim to fame is being Dominique Wilkins' brother.
I kind of feel like that falls on the Jordan torching him for talking shit.
Well, I guess it's like Derek Harper and Ron Harper.
Ooh, Derek Harper, man, that dude. I swear to God, he was like the oldest young guy I've ever seen in my life.
But I
He was
like
the Morgan Freeman of basketball.
I did like mids at one point.
I just never liked mids like that.
But
so,
I only liked them
sorry.
when they would do like something way different. But like I said again, that was 15 years ago when nobody was like even caring about a Jordan mid.
Something seems off about Jordan mids to me. Like,
I'm scared to say this, but wasn't Jordan originally playing in a bunch of mids early on?
Oh my God. Guru had to leave. He had to leave. Like, I wish you had said that like 10
No,
minutes
I mean
ago.
at some point.
No.
Wait, why was the no that strong though?
Because it was just like, why?
He just asked a question. Look, you already know.
I'm pretty
like,
sure at some point he was rocking mids.
During his career, or are you talking about after he was retired?
During.
No. Mids weren't a thing. First of all, mids weren't a thing until like
Until the, like,
early
the
2000s.
But I'm saying like the
mid-90s.
high cut we
No.
have,
Wasn't it?
No.
the high cuts
There were no
we
Jordan mids
have
until
aren't
Jordan
even
was-
like what he was rocking early on.
Say what?
Like the high cuts that we have, like the shape's changed.
Yeah, they always changing the shape, just like they changed the shape to the 13s. Like the shape changes, but the shoe aesthetically, for the most part, remains the same. Jordan mid ones didn't come out until early 2000s.
I feel like it was before.
No.
Maybe not men's. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe that's what it could be.
Say what?
Maybe it wasn't in men's.
No.
Okay, all right. Look, I don't. You already know. I don't care for Jordan.
I'm annoyed that neither one of y'all knew that now. Like, that
No,
was-
I'm just saying. I think like early on.
Don't bother me. No, I care less.
I'm saying early on. I don't think his
Right.
cut was like as high as what was commercially sold.
It was though.
Okay.
I I wish we had video because I don't know if my face is saying something that my mouth isn't, but
Like that video that's out on Facebook right now.
okay, we do have video. Okay,
You keep forgetting that, don't you?
I do. I keep.
Hi, Mom.
We got the Sakai Fragment Nike LD Waffle.
What'd you think about those dunks?
Nah.
Pass, easy pass.
And I like former Sakai's, just not this one.
Nike got this Spring Festival collection coming out. I thought was pretty interesting.
I think Supreme's done for the season.
Ready Made has a Nike Blazer mid, which I'm like pass, easy pass. That Cloud Air Jordan 14 low, I'm actually interested in.
Watch it sell out, but nobody likes 14s.
14 lows especially, right?
Well, everybody liked the Laney 14s. That's a 14.
I like
low.
14 lows. Period. Like
I like 14s.
yeah. But that's another thing I hear people say. Oh, I don't wear nothing that he didn't wear. That's the dumbest logic I ever heard in my life. Like, so if he didn't wear it, that makes it not dope. Like, I get the nostalgia factor why you might like something more, but to sit there and say I don't like this shoe because he didn't wear it, that's just. So okay, so hypothetically, right? Let's just do a hypothetical. If he never wore the 4 on the court, like everybody loves the Air Jordan 4, right? Or let's just use the Air Jordan 3. Everybody loves the Air Jordan 3. If he didn't wear it on the court, you wouldn't wear that?
So then people don't really like Air Jordan 9s. Did he actually wear that in a game?
He wore the 9s like in, I guess, DC. I guess that counts.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay.
The gray ones, at
That's
least.
what I was going to say. Like, I mean, if people gonna make that claim. It's
Yeah.
like
It's ridiculous. It's like, no, like, does the shoe look dope or not, bro? Like, like I said, I could see you ranking some higher, based on relevance and what was accomplished in them, whatever. But to sit there and just dismiss an entire shoe because he didn't wear them, like, that's just dumb. Anyway, Ambush, Nike Dunk High colorways. You got the fuchsia, you got the Chicago's, you got some type of deep
I like
royal.
the Chicago, and
I'm done with Chicago. Can we get
compared
another thing
compared to the all pink or the black and white, I think that's the only one that looks good.
There's a blue and black one too.
I saw it, but wasn't sure if it was confirmed.
Yeah, just don't know when.
Word.
I'm not really feeling those shoes, honestly. I guess I can see the girls being, into the future joints. And this is the thing I will say about them. Even though they might not be my cup of tea, I do like the fact that they're trying to do something unique as far as the design. Because when you do a collaboration, it should feel like a collaboration and not just some fucking cheap.
It used to.
This is
the
why
problem.
I've always hated the Travis Scott thing. Because it was just like, all he did was flip the swoosh, and y'all just went crazy for it.
And they did that before by accident.
Ooh. Just like, come on, bro. Like, enough. Let's not over-exaggerate how dope this is. Air Jordan 35 Paris. I need a pair of 35s.
They look
Hold
comfortable.
on. I need you to just read this post. I think I'm misunderstanding this.
Read it out loud. Read it to the class.
Okay.
No, I might be confused.
Not going to be long-winded, but MJ's PEs from the mid-'80s were mids. 2001 to 2008 were also mids. Yeah, a few highs were made, but most PEs from the 80s were mids. No. Because what you're looking at, excuse me, it's a slight, okay, so when I think of mids, right, there's a lot of things missing. One is one less lace hole.
I was looking at it from.
One less lace hole, and like the cut is different. Like if you look at the heel, if you look at that shoe you just showed me, the collar is slightly shorter, but everything else is still anatomically the same.
Yeah, like, here's a bunch of them.
Like the height,
Well, yeah, those are mids.
yeah, the
Those
height.
are.
But
I'm
those,
saying they're all mids.
yeah, but those came in like early 2000s though.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of those are mids. That still looks like a high.
Yeah, it's like I mean,
I'm saying his personal cut might have just been a little bit lower.
I mean, it's
still
literally
market-
showing you that, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it still has the same amount of lace holes. You see the cut of the heel counter is still the
Yeah.
same height. The swoosh is still the same height. Everything is still anatomically the same, whereas with the mids nowadays, it's all lower. I can show you better than I can tell you.
No, I agree with you.
There's a lot of things on there that bother me, and it just feels like I got a lesser version of the one than I want. So why am I going to buy that? That's the way I feel like.
Hold up, because one mid on there that I forgot about. You didn't like the Levi collab?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh.
Like it's a silhouette. Like it's not. I don't give a fuck who collabs with it.
You ain't like the COJP?
Who?
The CO? Am I saying it right? The COJ, the silver
Co
anniversary.
Oh,
Japan.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'm just asking because I just want to know.
Didn't really care for it, but I liked how some of them came with that briefcase like the OG 17s did.
So that's how the silver anniversary came.
Only some of them.
I remember because when I was at Champs, we had them, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't know what it was.
Interesting.
Oh, we had the 2s. We didn't get the 11. We got the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. But couldn't nobody figure out who was getting the 11. So simpler times.
All right.
Times.
So I do want to get into this old Master P thing. He wants to buy a Reebok.
Make them say,
Now, I thought this one
See, they're just gonna Suge Knight shake him over the.
Oh, wow. Nah, if anybody, because I feel like there's an angle to this that people are looking at, and I know how some people are going to take it. So I don't know if anybody has anything they want to say first.
I mean, I just said, it's like, look, as long as he don't put out the masterpiece niggas, which I know he wouldn't. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, I think it's dope. Like, it's needed. It's needed to have somebody like that to be able to step up and try and revitalize and breathe a breath of fresh air that's needed into a brand.
Yeah.
That is someone that has ties to the culture.
I don't think I'm fully enough informed on every aspect, but I think the price I heard was too high from a business standpoint to be the buyer.
That's one angle, and I'm glad you brought that up because I agree. 2, people got it in their minds that they're going to collab their way to success, and they're not. They're not. Collabs are the cherry on top. They're not the sundae. What the sundae consists of is innovation.
I love how this is the analogy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if it's coming from him, what'd you expect?
Oh, yeah, I got jokes. And so innovation is key. This is why Nike is number one. Like, I know once again, you talk about the Travis Scotts and the fear of gods and all this other stuff. But what really pushes Nike and keeps them number one is the innovation, because there's a lot of shoes. Because that appeals to us. But every year when we look at the number one shoes, aren't we usually surprised by the shoes that are like number one? Like, you would think to us, if we was to make our list of, like, even look at our list of the number one shoes is Jordan this and LeBron that, or whatever. And and usually when you see the top 10 list, you might see a Jordan or two on there, but it's usually shoes you never heard of or never thought about. And that's because Nike's appeal is broader than the sneaker community. And I think sometimes we think just within the prism of the sneaker community and not think on a larger scale. And with this Reebok thing, there's a lot of things to consider. One, the first thing, overhead, distribution channels, supply chains, because right now they're living off of Adidas' supply chains and distribution channels. Once they go independent, now they got to develop their own. So that's the first thing that you got to think about. Secondly, like I said, innovation. Because you're not just going to keep – first of all, when you do collaborations, those are mostly limited anyway. So when you limited the amount, that limits your return. So you don't get as much money from that. It's brand awareness, but once again, what are you making them aware of?
K-Swiss recently, I know they're not very hype, but K-Swiss tried to go that avenue, and they did a collab with Jupiter, Little Jupiter, who was just like an Instagram influencer, and it completely flopped.
That's my thing, because you got to follow it up. So collaborations are more so side projects for the most part, from the brand's perspective, right? This is why they're limited and whatever, because they're not looking to make money off of it. They're just looking to kind of garner some attention, right? It's more of a marketing thing for them. And so this is why this is why if Reebok's plan is to collab themselves back into relevancy and they don't have anything else to offer but collabs, it's not going to work. You got to offer them something that people can buy into on a consistent basis. And then somebody was even talking about, I think he was even talking about making Iverson the Jordan of Reebok, which makes sense. But the thing with Jordan is he has a whole bunch of silhouettes that people love, as opposed to while me and you might love the Iverson line for the most part. If we're being 100% honest, outside the questions, and maybe the two, but outside the questions for the most part,
Question
and
answer 3.
He's still going to be wearing Air Force Ones the whole time.
Exactly. Outside of the questions.
Question and answer 3. Those are the only two.
Outside of the questions, I was talking to people at Reebok. Outside of the questions, his line, this is why you haven't seen a lot of retros. Like, they try to, here and there drop, but it's not. This is why they still sit on the shelves, and they go for, like, deep sales. So outside of questions, they don't have a lot of appeal. So his line doesn't have that same cachet as a Jordan brand, which is why it's hard to, like, even with Steph Curry, he got his own brand. It's like, with what, though? I mean, I get it from an Under Armour's perspective. You got to do something. And I get it from Reebok, from, their perspective. You got to do something. But
who's got more potential? Reebok with whoever they may go, or Under Armour with their Curry side project?
I hate to say it, but at this point, I had to say Under Armour because at least they're self-sustaining. Yeah.
I'll say this.
They should just buy a Reebok.
Because the only reason I say this because as of now, they're independent. They're their own company. Like, they're not relying on a bigger company to kind of, use them as a subsidiary. Like, so you know what I'm saying? So, like, Reebok, I can't go off of what they used to do because they're not doing that now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need to.
But see, here's the thing with Reebok. And if I agree, you said the price seems kind of high. The way I would envision them kind of trying to reintroduce Reebok is they just be reintroducing the actual
A-Life tennis ball collab, or
no, it would just be reintroducing the brand, figuring out, okay, maybe we do go the Under Armour approach. Maybe we stay away from sneakers for a little bit because we don't have much to offer, but we try and reintroduce apparel.
Well, just do what Puma's doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But you just said about the supply. If they go completely independent, how are they going to have the cachet and the money to be able to back something like that up? If they end up doing it now, probably on their own, it'll probably end up like Big Baller Brand, where you never get the shoe.
well, Big Baller Brand never had a product to begin with. Like, that's the problem with Big Baller Brand. They
had slides.
they stumbled off the block, huh?
They had slides. And a hat. And a T-shirt.
Excuse me. What Puma did, and what a lot of these brands, and even Adidas, 2015, is they use the hype stuff to bring attention to their legacy stuff, like using Adidas. Like, they use the hype of the Yeezys and the Ultra Boost to bring attention to the superstars and their Stan Smiths, and all the other shit that they got, the pro models and the top 10s. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? They had that at their disposal. Now, what they didn't do is continue to innovate, at least in a way that appealed to people. Like, they came out with the 4D shit, which I don't know how many people was really on.
Yeah, they butchered that.
Yeah.
They had an opportunity.
Like, they don't own Boost, which is kind of cutting the legs from underneath them. So there's that. But, like, you look at Puma, they're doing the same exact thing. Okay, we got these young, they signing these younger athletes and whatnot, and they got these new silhouettes, but it also ties into some of their legacy stuff. That's why they still drop the Ralph Sampsons and, some of the other shit, the Clydes. And so
Clydes are a classic though.
exactly.
Yeah, Clyde's and GV specials.
But you got to do both,
Dope.
simultaneously.
And then you got Jeff Staple throwing a pigeon on any and every sneaker silhouette that'll take it.
right. Oh yeah.
Including that, even the Warren Lotus. He did a New Balance recently.
Jesus, this
what,
guy's a
what color was it?
Man, I think it was like that New York gray with a little pink accent or something.
Oh my god. But basically, they're like two different legs on the same body, but you need them both to kind of walk forward. And so,
Saya just did
yeah, the pigeon.
I like the humor behind that.
Yeah, they had the
I don't
little
really
pigeon
know.
shit on
Yeah.
the hill. Yeah, so that's what with Reebok, and talking to people, that's what they're more concerned about. Like, talking to the people that work at Reebok, they're excited and they're scared. Like I said, they're excited because Reebok does need to get away from Adidas, because Adidas has done them no favors whatsoever. Like, you look at the relationship between Nike and Converse versus the relationship between Adidas and Reebok, is night and day.
They have done them a favor. They didn't allow them to go bankrupt. That's it. That's the
basically
only
it.
favor
That's
that
it.
they did for them.
That's it.
It's
But
probably a
is
tax
that really a
write-off
favor?
for Adidas.
That's
They're
like,
probably using Reebok to show a loss.
I mean, Harry Potter's like uncle and aunt didn't let them go hungry, but they had them living under the stairs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, that's fucked up.
yeah, you ain't watch Harry Potter ever?
Not to where I know. Like,
Is that a
exact
dated
movies.
analogy?
Nah, it's not. I didn't watch it enough to where I know exactly what's going on.
Like, I'm just saying, like, just because,
Choose another one.
huh?
Choose another analogy.
I'm trying to think.
I see.
I'm trying to think. I thought that was a
Spaghetti
pretty
with no
apt.
meatballs.
No, it's not. What? No, it's not. Basically, you're right. They kept them from going
That'd be
bankrupt.
painful.
But it's pretty much the equivalent. Like, if I take care of a child and I give them the bare minimum, like, I let them eat, but they like sleeping on the floor, and they ain't got no new clothes.
And
So-
waiting
so-
in line at Foot Locker.
So Adidas is R. Kelly and Reebok.
I wouldn't
is-
say all that. No, that's a little too far. R. Kelly,
He gave him the bare minimum, didn't he?
Somebody say he gave him more than he should have, but I'll say, but Reebok ain't done them no favors. I think everybody collectively wants Reebok to leave Adidas and succeed. Now, if that's what Master P, so be it. I just hope that.
I feel like it's not.
And most people don't think, and a lot of people too, talking to them, they don't think it's really gonna happen. They think it's more PR than anything.
I mean, but
Because there's other groups that are actually hired. They wouldn't tell me no names, but they did tell me there's other people that have a higher chance of getting Reebok before it even gets to Master P.
Well, if Reebok's listening and they've got someone offering more than $2 billion, trust me and take it immediately.
Well, it's not Reebok that's got it's Adidas.
Once
Or,
again,
yeah, that's what I meant. If
once
Adidas
again,
listening-
PR. Like, but I don't know if they're saying that he doesn't have $2
Hold
billion.
up, you want to know what would be funny about this whole thing?
What's that?
What if the plan is never to sell Reebok to begin with? This just drums up hype enough to be able to bring more attention back to Reebok.
No, they want to get rid of Reebok.
I was gonna say it would be very Adidas like and ironic.
No,
if
I
that
wouldn't
were the
know.
case.
If I didn't talk to people there, I would go with that.
Oh, we know because you know people everywhere.
You funny.
You famous.
But yeah, no, they want to get rid.
Famous
They
enough
want to
wear
get
a
rid of
Cardinals
Reebok.
hat with a Falcons jersey.
Fuck you. They really want to. They really want to get rid of Reebok. I think what they're saying now that I remember one conversation, they were saying
It's breaking
that they're
news.
using Master P as like a front man, kind of how the Nets use Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z only had like what a
That's
5%
That's
stake.
exactly what I was gonna say. Is I feel like Master P would be kind of like the face. He would be the face
But he wouldn't be
for
running
the
things.
culture. Yeah, exactly. He's the face that they're gonna push out to us.
He's
to
gonna be
say-
the guy that's gonna try to help sell us on Reebok.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not gonna be the
which
one
I'd
making
be,
decisions.
which I'd be okay with that.
I don't know if I'd be okay with that because it's kind of like,
It is
What's
what
the
it
point?
is, man.
because they're just using him. Like you're not the decision maker.
Jay-Z got used for the Nets to
Yeah.
bring all of the players there. Then he left, so that's what I'm saying. Master P could use that to help, maybe help him go into other business ventures that he hasn't already.
But Jay-Z had his
tapped
hand
into.
in other business ventures already, so
So
he
does
didn't really
Master
need
P.
the Nets. Right, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think he really needs that either. I don't think the Nets helped him.
Hey, man,
I mean,
let's
I
get-
may be wrong,
Let's
but
get Master P on, man.
we get him on the show
After
next week.
Virgil.
Speaking of which,
I'm with
we
that.
also have Jerry Lorenzo and Jason Maiden, CEO of Super Heroic.
I wish Guru was here for this.
He's actually Jerry Lorenzo's leaving Nike and going to Adidas, and they're both going in tandem to help Adidas build up the basketball category. Once again, expectations. Talking to people at Adidas depends on who you talk to. So people at the top, and this seems to be the logical fallacy that they fall into, is where, hey, we can get, like we were just talking about Jay-Z, we can get this person here and all of that's going to cure all our ills. Like attaching this person's name is going to sell tickets, or attaching this person's name is going to sell product. And that's not necessarily how it works. Like, okay, so people are looking at it like, oh, there's going to be some dope collabs and all this other shit. Actually take the time to read. They're saying to run their basketball category, meaning that they want to raise and bring up the basketball. This is broader than just a few collabs here and there. They want their basketball category to compete with Nike, and they think signing Jerry Lorenzo and Jason Maiden is going to do that. Now, while I think these are great hires, this is definitely a plus.
It's
Are we talking plus 10 or are we talking about plus 100? Because
it's a step in the right direction.
step in the right direction, but
It's not a leap.
But once again, judging off the expectations of what they're looking for versus what they're going to get, I don't see it. Jerry Lorenzo, okay, first off, Jerry Lorenzo had a lot of dope shoes with Nike, right? I can say a lot.
He had
some
a
dope-
few.
He had a few dope shoes. And what people, and this is the analogy I gave somebody else. Just because he did some great shit with Nike doesn't mean it's going to translate to Adidas. Because imagine, okay,
Look at Kanye West.
this is what's coming out. But okay, we're going to talk about that.
I knew it would trigger you.
I got to give this analogy because it's like Adidas is sitting there and it's like, well, people enjoy Jerry's dinner at Nike's house, so they'll enjoy Jerry's dinner at our house.
See how I steal food?
Hold on, listen. But the thing is, Nike has different ingredients and different cooking utensils than Adidas has. They don't have the same silhouettes. They don't have the same designers. They don't have all the same things that Nike has. So therefore, what?
It's
Nike's-
like a burger cooked on the grill versus
Nike's
cooked on the
all-
stovetop.
Nike's all in-house, genuine. Adidas is like, we don't live there, we just cook there. Like,
it's a
differently.
different set of things. And once again, Jerry Lorenzo didn't raise Nike basketball's profile. Like all his stuff was limited within the vacuum.
Well, that's what I want to say. I got into it with Guru about whether or not Jerry's shoes on Nike were considered basketball shoes, and I guess according to Nike they were, right? I'll agree with it. But
I think what it is technically it is considered as one, but I got exactly where you were coming from.
But the people buying it was more of a
lifestyle.
It was a lifestyle.
And I'll always compare. In my opinion, the best Fear of God Nike was the Air Fear of God 1, not the shoot around, but like the bulky boot-looking thing.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that's loosely based off the first Adidas Yeezy 750, which they even come in the same packaging and have the same zipper on the back.
Right.
So it's.
I mean, you could tell it's definitely some inspiration.
Yeah.
Behind it.
But I know that Adidas shut down that Yeezy model because it was too expensive to produce. So we know we're not going to get something similar from Jerry, and he's going to be focused more on like an athletic shoe.
Man, I think.
But that's why I was happy to see him go with Jason Maiden. That's actually the part that gave me a little bit more
I was gonna say
hope.
the Jerry Lorenzo part wasn't even the part I got excited about. It was the Jason Maiden part.
Because I mean, you talk about having an actual footwear designer,
Yes.
in house. To me, that I just looked at it as like, okay, well, maybe that might help breathe some life into some of the signature models that.
Because he's gonna look at it beyond the collaboration.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because Jerry Lorenzo, but I don't think it's gonna raise the profile of Adidas basketball. That's what people are missing. It's like, do I think his specific collaborations, do I think they're gonna get a lot of hype and excitement? Yes. Do I think that's gonna translate to where it raises the entire genre of Adidas basketball? No. And that's the part that people are missing, because that's what Adidas is signing him for. This isn't just, hey, do us a few collabs. This is, hey, raise the entire profile of our Adidas hoops, because we've been sucking for years now. And, like they got James Harden who ain't doing shit for him.
His shoes look terrible anyway.
It gets worse and worse.
The Yeezy basketball flop too.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why I think they went and got him, though. Is because they saw that was like, hold up, this shit ain't working.
No. They think, but that's the thing, though. They think they're going to get the Kanye effect with Jerry Lorenzo, and they're not. Kanye did, I might not like the Yeezys, but I can acknowledge what he did. What he did for Adidas was he raised the profile.
On the lifestyle level.
Yeah, he raised the profile. His shoes had like some type of residual effect on the rest of Adidas, on the Ultra Boost, on the Super. You wanted Adidas, you wanted anything Adidas related when Kanye got with Adidas. I don't think Jerry Lorenzo has that same cachet. I don't think he has that same. I just don't. This is not me trying to be negative. This is me trying to be honest. And like I said, talking to people and knowing what their expectations are, they're not looking just to get a collaboration. They can collaborate with him. They could have did a collaboration with him without signing him as the basketball director.
All I know is it can't be worse than the Adidas Kid Cudi shoe. I'm still upset about this.
I knew you was about to go there.
Because at first they dropped these two bullshit Bill and Ted ones, right? And I was like, oh man, this is awful. Then they're like, no, wait, there's more. And they showed his actual monstrosity of a Kid Cudi shoe. And I even tolerate all his humming and whatever, but I'm so upset about this.
Look, I'm just saying that I have hopes for Adidas with Jason Maiden being there.
That's this part that I was like, okay.
Because looking at the Harden shoe, what is this? This is version 5? Is that what it is? V5?
Yeah, I think it's V5, yeah.
That shoe looks
it's
atrocious.
gotten progressively worse. And
awful.
It looks, this the part that kills me, because it kind of looks the same but like worse.
No, this is probably the worst looking basketball shoe probably since what was that all white Steph Curry, that dad shoe looking, what was that, the Curry 3? It's probably the worst basketball shoe since it makes the PGs look like they've walked on water in comparison. Like
I feel like honestly, like I'm only basketball shoe I would say I'm excited about is the Donovan Mitchell shoes. They show some promise.
Yeah, but now they could be better. So
no,
I'm saying now they will be better.
Yeah, you got Jason Maiden on the scene, but like I said, Jerry Lorenzo, he has his own brand or whatever, but I think that's what people need to understand, is that they're looking for the Kanye effect, and you got to ask yourself, is Jerry Lorenzo, does he have that cachet where he's going to make that shit hype again? Because it's easy to make Nike shit hype, because the shit is already nice to begin with. So you add Jerry Lorenzo to it, once again, you adding the cherry to that sundae. But is he the Sunday that's gonna make
we're always
Adidas Baskin Robbins? No.
We're always talking about like what's going on at the Adidas marketing table, or like we see what they're doing and we can't put logic behind it. But at this point, I'm more curious what's going on at the budgeting table, because they pay them more, they're giving them way more bigger contracts, and it's like,
you know what this reminds me of?
Why you think they're trying to sell Reebok?
You know what? Yeah, we gotta make room.
He said we gotta make up for this.
We gotta clear the books for this shit. You know what this reminds me of? That's another analogy I gave. This reminds me of the mid '90s when like WCW was trying to buy up WWF talent.
Oh yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's like Adidas is like, fuck it. Let's sign all these people that used to be with Nike.
So WCW was Ted Turner.
I'm still upset about
Adidas
the Hulk.
Ted Turner.
I'm still to this day furious about the Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan rematch.
Oh, what, in WCW?
They gave Ultimate Warrior like $500,000 just to let Hulk Hogan have his fucking ego back for one night.
And that was in the best match of the night. Didn't even air all the way on pay-per-view.
And the worst part is neither WWF nor WCW gave Virgil the credit that he deserves.
Oh my God, Virgil.
You gotta have love for Virgil.
Virgil, Vincent, whatever you want to call him.
Hey, I sent Gino a picture of him choking the shit out of me when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
He should have finished the job.
Jesus, this got real dark.
We're trying to get Virgil on the show, though. Not Ablo, the real one.
Let's get him on the show.
It might cost us two Virgils.
Let's just treat it like a huge misunderstanding. Talk to him about Off-White.
But that's what it is, though. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. It's reminiscent of when WCW was buying up the WWF older talent.
And they called it NWO. It was literally the WWF stars.
I mean, and it might be high, like, you know what I'm saying? It might work for a second, but we all know how that story ended. The WWF was like, all right, cool.
Well,
and that's what Nike has done.
Hey, and now Goldust, though, is putting a threat to all the newcomers.
What?
You know what I'm talking about. He started, what's it called, AEW?
I can't help but make Georgia comparisons where, like, they stole their governor's election from Stacey, and so she just stole the whole state back.
Or that. But no, I was going to say, the thing about it is I guess I'm going to perspectives, because WCW thought,
that's a good analogy.
But no, because the perspective was, we're going to take all these established stars
and get the same
and
thing.
It's going to like
it's going to breathe the same.
Yeah, it's going to be the same
type of
here.
return.
And it worked for us because they did have some new storylines. However, what they forced WWF to do was build up new talent. They build up The Rock and the Stone Cold Steve Austins and the Triple H's. And what that ended up doing is now all of a sudden they're breathing new life. And so now all the up-and-coming talent that couldn't get any momentum in WCW went to the WWF, and it just added to what the WWF was already doing. And Nike, we've already seen them do it. When Adidas got all hot, what did I do? I woke up Nike. Now all of a sudden I was like, okay, cool. Y'all want to compete? Let's compete. And so they started innovating like crazy and coming out with all this fresh new shit. And so I think what's ended up going to happen is this is going to kind of force Nike, because even when Kanye left, right, because they didn't want to do deals with entertainers, what happened? Then all of a sudden they got Travis Scott. Now they got Drake. Now they're doing collabs with J Balvin and all these other people, right? So I think what is going to end up happening is that they're going to do that. It's going to force Nike to respond in some type of way. And just based on track record, Nike's going to probably kill that too. So and not to say that Adidas shouldn't compete or try to compete. I'm just saying that you can't just say, you know what, we've seen them do this with Nike, and you can't just keep buying old Nike talent. You got to develop something or something.
I'll say even Crocs is at least going like a unique route, or like they got Bad Bunny, they did Justin Bieber, they got Post Malone. Now I'm not saying Crocs are dope. I'm not trying to put them on the same list, but they're at least going for like unused potential or unused talent.
Right. I mean, Adidas might have a Chris Jericho that they don't know about in their ranks that they're not developing because they're trying to get Nike's Hulk Hogan.
Well, that's what I was going to say is, just think of.
Well, I don't think there's a Hulk
Think
Hogan.
of the Ric Flair shoes they're dropping.
Well,
Woo!
Two things. For one, when it comes to basketball shoes, we said it before, you have to have somebody that's marketable enough to be able to sell your basketball shoe. My fear behind this is they're going to just use Jerry Lorenzo as this is the face of Adidas basketball.
That's what he's there for.
But that's what I'm saying is that's not going to sell a basketball.
I think it has the potential to hurt his brand, because if that fails, it's going to be a failure on him because he's going to be the face.
But that's why I'm curious to see what all else is going to come of this. Like, who? Clearly, we know Jerry Lorenzo and Jason Maiden are basically going to be, for the most part, they're touted as being the heads of Adidas.
They're going to be
basketball.
working in tandem. Yes.
I just want to know what all else are they going to bring to the table to be able to put together a team to be able to try and persuade talent to come to Adidas, and what are they going to be able to do to be able to create that?
I do think this might be out there, but I think we can agree Kanye has more of like an ego, or he goes in there saying, we're going to do what I want to do, right? I think Jerry Lorenzo's got more of the mindset of like, this company actually needs me. I'm going to put in some effort and try and come up with something fresh. Whether or not it works, I just feel like he's more of a team player.
Right. Hey, man. Now, I know he left Nike because what did he leave Nike for?
Because the paycheck from Adidas is higher. I guarantee it.
No, it was something else, too. And I know this.
Probably the main reason.
And I know this from talking to people at Nike. Like, so Nike, they're uber protective.
He like an insider.
They uber protective. Seriously, they uber
I tell
protective.
people I know him.
They're uber protective of their shit, right? They know at the end of the day, the swoosh is bigger than anybody. That at the end of the day, Nike is bigger than anybody that they're working with.
I mean, but that's fair.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this is why they was willing to walk away from Drake, because they're like, we're Nike. We don't need you. It'd be nice to have you, and you can add value to us. But at the end of the day, we're doing more for you than you're doing for us. We're Nike. We're ridiculously, I don't know how many billions. Like,
you can't even come up with a number, can you?
yeah, like them. I mean, like, no, they like one of the biggest brands in the world.
They should buy Reebok just to bury it.
Why?
Like WWF buying WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still take the talent from that. You don't bury it.
Imagine.
Like, they didn't bury Converse, and look how that's working.
It's working out pretty well.
I was going to say.
I have mixed feelings on how they handled Converse, but they're financially doing well.
They're doing real well. I mean, they support them, but they allow them to operate independently. I mean,
hey, the only company they fucked up in my mind was it
the Hurley?
Hurley or Billabong or one of those two they had.
I think it was both.
Yeah.
Didn't they have both?
They definitely had Hurley.
Yeah.
And they let Bob Burnquist go.
I mean, you live and you learn, right? You learn from your mistakes. So maybe they learned from that mistake, and they applied it with Converse. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the ins and outs of that situation was.
Well, ask you the insider.
I mean, I would think to ask them about Hurley because I give a shit about Hurley.
Well, you know what?
You are the business insider.
Speaking of Converse, though, I like how they're able to collab, though, or like for our top of the year picks, I picked those Jordan 16 Why Not pack, or like that came with a pair of Converse, or like I think it's dope that they're separate but they can work in unison.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I asked my Jordan brand about the band airships, and they was like, "You sound ridiculous."
They said they're absolutely a Nike?
No, they say they're absolutely Nike. Because he said, like, I should have said he, but they said, basically, that was a Nike PE. They said it was a PE of a Nike shoe that he wore as a placeholder for the Air Jordan 1. Like, the Air Jordan 1 is an actual Jordan.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. That was the discussion? Was the
He thought the airship was a Jordan
shoe. I put it
shoe.
on my top Jordan list.
Really? Yeah, it's a Nike shoe.
I agree now, but when we were coming up with our list, I was trying to be
because you were thinking just because he wore it.
Well, there's only been 2 colors released ever publicly, right? The New Beginnings and then the black and red, right?
Yes.
The white and red in Chicago.
So considering it had never ever come out before,
like
I got it with a New Beginning pack. I didn't even think.
This is the part where I kind of give you.
I agree, it's a Nike shoe, but like at first thought,
the part where I can see why you feel that way because it was a Jordan brand release.
I was gonna say because of the packaging.
Yeah, it was released through Jordan brand, but it's a Nike shoe. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to equate it. So like the Russell Westbrook shit that came out. They released the Converse shoe. That was Jordan brand collabing.
Yeah,
with,
but it was a Converse. Yeah.
But it was a Converse. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of along those lines.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Can they release the Aero Jams again?
What?
Can they release the Aero Jams again?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
The Grandma Moss.
Dog.
I'm just saying, can they release
and extended
them again?
size runs? Like, damn.
And can they put?
Yo, what's up with the Penny 3? Like, what the fuck?
Can they put Zoom Air in the Grandma Moss?
No, we're gonna ask questions about anything, dog. What the Penny 3s at?
Hold on, you ask your people. You the insider.
I'm gonna have to because I'm like, okay, I seen them kind of leak on Jimmy Jazz and Hibbits and all this other shit, but I'm like, because the Penny 5s when the Orlando home colorway came out, they dropped that Foot Locker and shit and like
nobody-
limited size runs.
Don't nobody want the penny.
But then months later, they show up on a Nike app and extended size runs, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be the same situation where they leak them out here first, and then one day they just miraculously show up.
So you saw some penny threes on Hibbits?
Yeah. And I'm like, dog, like, what's up, dog? Like, I need, like, dog, yeah, I need them penny threes now. I don't know if everybody mama all of a sudden love penny threes now, but yeah, I need those.
Luckily, I have a Hibbit spot.
They didn't do you no good with
I was
your
gonna
Nike by you.
Yeah, true.
That would not be Hibbits.
True story.
I mean, that's true too,
But yeah, with the whole Nike ID, I don't think customizable options are botable.
they probably aren't.
Considering I work for the #1 Nike bot out there right now, I can tell you it's not.
I'm going to save this story for next week because
Shout out the shitbot.
House of Heats names their 20 worst Jordans of all time. And
Oh,
yeah.
what's on the list? Give me one that's on the list so I can get mad. Okay, give me two because I really want to be mad. All right, just come on, let's get to the list. We got time. Come on, let's get.
We
to
can.
Yeah, let's get.
I
To
don't
it.
know, Dave, how much time we got left?
Yeah, see, Dave said we go whenever.
No, I mean, so sadly, I think the Plaza closes at 9 tonight.
Okay.
So that's a thing.
Dave is like, just go, just keep going.
Okay, so it's 8:55 now, so that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
So we got 5 minutes.
Oh,
So I want to get into that.
what was one? What's one? Just one.
That's
Just
the whole point of a
one.
list, though. Like, I ain't going to tell you the first one.
Where you find the list at?
List number 1.
No, I don't want to know what's number one. Just one of the shoes is on the list.
All right, I'll give you number 20.
No, give me like number
I'm
7.
going to give you number 20.
Give me like number 16 or something.
I'm going to give you number 20, bro. Like, oh, you asked
How
for
about
one.
20
I'm
and 1? Let's compromise. The best and the worst of the worst.
No, I don't want to know the worst of the best of the worst.
What?
Yeah, hold on. Is number 20 the best of the worst?
Or
is number one the best of the worst?
Number 1 is the worst of the worst.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it. Where did it go?
Now are these all signatures or?
These are all signature Jordans.
Hold up. It's gonna be something in the 30s.
All right. So the rules before they started, they laid down some ground rules. It was only Air Jordans 1 through 13.
So how's it 20 of them?
Colorways.
They doing the colorways.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm thinking we just
Men and
talking
women's colorways
silhouettes.
only. Otherwise, the GS colorways will flood the list. Original silhouettes, no hybrids, no non-OG lows, Team Jordans, etc. No Dornbeckers, the kids. Leave them alone. All right, okay.
It's probably a 2.
You want number 20, and part of me kind of sort of, I don't know if I agree with this one.
It's got to be a 2. If you said it's 1
Nope.
through 13,
It's 1 through 13, 20 different colorways.
oh, it's a 10.
Damn. Number 20 is the Air Jordan 10 Lady Liberty.
I figured it was either the but you said no Dornbecker because I was gonna say I wonder if it's that Dornbecker 10.
The only 10s I own are the Bulls Over Broadway. I
That
think.
one was terrible. Good concept.
I'm looking at these
Horrible
colorways
execution.
now.
That was the last shoe I
Oh,
got
they tripping.
on Nike Talk.
They tripping.
Like being in chat rooms, like, all right, go.
Yeah, no, I remember when that came out. We had that when I was at Villa, and I was like,
They tripping. I'm looking at some of these. Some of these I agree with, and some of these are just like y'all high.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you their rationale for that shoe though, because they listed reasons why. Concepts like this can go one or two ways. It can reach an extreme level of notoriety, like the concepts lobster dunks, or it could fizzle out into nothing but a distant memory.
Like the concepts to Duncan's. That was a disappointment. I'm going to say it regardless who agrees with me.
These Statue of Liberty inspired 10s more than fit the bill for the latter, ending up at outlets globally for insanely low prices only a short time after release. See, now you can't really base that on that, like, because the Chicago ones went on like resale. I mean,
multiple times.
yeah, like
The
before it
Michigan-
became a hot thing.
The Michigan Dunks were on outlets.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can
Twice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use that as a.
And they're coming back again.
Oh, as lows.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
not
use
the
that-
off-white ones this time. No
Right.
zip tie.
You can't use that as a full basis. I'm looking at the shoe right now. Like, I don't hate it. Like, I don't remember going crazy over them either, but I don't hate them.
No, because those came out. It was around the All-Star game. I think it was around All-Star weekend because it was that. And I think the Bulls over Broadway came out either the week before or the week after.
I'm still not gonna tell you what number one is, but I wholeheartedly agree with it.
Well, can you tell me?
It's probably an 8.
Nope, I just wholeheartedly agree with the number one pick.
Is it a 1? Is
I'm
it a
not
2?
saying.
Is it
I'm
a
not
3?
saying.
Is it a 4? Is it a 5?
I'm not
Is it-
saying.
Oh, hey, so you remember when everyone got upset that I said my Jordan 11s were snow boots?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make my Jordan 3 Wolves into my snow boots this year. I feel like no one would care about those.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
So I just want everyone to know.
I mean, I like threes, but fuck that 3.
All right, so that about wraps up this episode. I do next week. Somebody, if I don't get to it, please remind me. I do want to get to some of our other segments, like This Week in Stupid,
or bot topic,
and all this other stuff. But Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully, I mean, this year cannot be worse than 2020. I refuse.
No.
And how has it started?
Do not challenge worse.
challenge
true.
accepted.
Never challenge
I don't want to
worse.
jinx it. I don't want to jinx it because it's been crazy already. We've had an Oxman, at the state capitol.
QAnon the Barbarian was in the Capitol building.
So we're not starting off on the strongest of footing, but hopefully this year develops into a better year than last year, and people are able to get all the shoes that they love. And with that being said, it's episode 277. We'll see you guys next week. We love y'all. We out. Peace.